Welcome, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into something you almost definitely have sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. It seems, well, utterly mundane, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Salt. But it turns out it holds this incredible history and power you might never have imagined.
Oh.
Yeah, our journey today, it's inspired by this really intriguing audio piece we found. It's called Put Salt in the Corners of Your House and See What Happens.
Mm.
Now, here's a funny thing, a bit of a paradox maybe. We've all heard that superstition, right? Spilling salt brings bad luck. I bet some of you listening even toss a pinch over your shoulder if you spill it, kind of automatically. But have you ever actually stopped to wonder where that idea even comes from? So our mission in this deep dive is to uncover the surprising history, the practical uses, and yeah, even the sort of magical properties people associate with salt. And we'll get to what really happens, according to our source, when you use it to like purify your home.
It is fascinating, isn't it? How one single ingredient, something so basic, can hold such completely opposite beliefs.
Exactly.
Spill it, that's bad luck. But then the source piece promises that if you intentionally put it in certain places, it can actually, change your life for the better.
Right.
It really sets up an interesting look into, well, human belief systems.
Absolutely. That contradiction totally hooked me too. Okay, so let's unpack that first part then. Where does that whole spilling salt bad luck thing actually stem from?
Well, our source points to a couple of main theories, both pretty compelling, actually. One, and this is the one a lot of people might have heard, it links back to religious stories.
Ah,
Specifically, the idea that Judas Iscariot, at the Last Supper, accidentally knocked over a bowl of salt.
oh, right. I think I remember hearing something like that.
Yeah, so that image kind of links spilling salt with betrayal, misfortune, all that bad stuff. But then there's another explanation, maybe even more fundamental, and it's purely practical.
Okay.
Historically, salt was incredibly expensive, like really precious.
Hmm.
So think about it. Spilling salt wasn't just, oops, clumsy me. It was a literal waste of a valuable resource. Right. Which, in times when things were scarce, that would feel like genuinely bad luck. A sign of future loss, maybe?
Expensive and precious.
Mm.
That's hard for us to imagine now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just there in a shaker.
Exactly.
So why? Why was salt that important back then? What made it so valuable?
Yeah, that's really the core of it. See, for our ancestors, getting salt wasn't easy. Harvesting it was often tough, sometimes dangerous work. You needed access to salt pans or mines, and it took a lot of effort.
Ah, okay. Not like just going to the supermarket.
Definitely not. So this made it a luxury item. Often, only the wealthy could afford it consistently. And it wasn't just for flavor, Its main value was as a preservative.
For food.
Yes, especially meat and fish. This was way before refrigeration, remember? So salt's ability to make food last longer was absolutely vital for survival, for trade, even for armies on the move.
Which actually brings up this detail from our source that just blew my mind. Ancient Romans, apparently, sometimes pay their soldiers partly in salt.
That's right.
That's how critical it was,
Yeah.
especially for preserving their rations. And get this, the word salary. It comes directly from the Latin word salarium,
Mm.
which was the money given to soldiers specifically to buy salt. Did you know that?
It's an amazing connection, isn't it? It really hammers home just how central salt was. When you think about its role in everything from feeding armies to preventing widespread starvation, yeah, you see why it was so highly valued. It was woven into the fabric of daily life, the economy, everything. But like you said earlier, that practical value is just one side of the coin. Because from really, really old times, people also believed it had these magical powers. They used it in all sorts of rituals.
And these weren't just like minor superstitions.
Yeah.
They seemed deeply ingrained. Our source mentioned the ancient Egyptians. Before they set off on these long, dangerous desert journeys,
Yeah.
they'd perform this ritual with salt. They'd actually burn it on hot coals.
Mm.
The idea was it would literally scare away evil spirits they thought were lurking out there in the desert.
Wow. You can almost picture that, can't you? The flickering coals, the smoke, that belief in creating a safe passage.
Totally.
And, connecting this belief in salt's protective power wasn't just an Egyptian thing. It popped up all over. Think about Europe, places like Normandy, Scotland, parts of Germany, especially where people were really worried about witches.
Right, the witch trials era and all that.
Exactly. Salt was seen as a key defense. People would sprinkle it around their butter churns, for instance. They genuinely believed that witches would not cross the protective salt line. So it kept the witches from souring the butter or harming the cows. It really speaks to that basic human need to draw boundaries, against things they feared seen or unseen.
That theme of protection definitely seems universal. Our source pointed out that in Ireland, people used salt combined with saying the Lord's Prayer
Oh, yeah. For what?
to cure someone they thought was fairy struck.
Fairy struck. What does that mean?
It was their term for, like, an illness or sudden misfortune they believed was caused by fairies, messing with them.
Ah, okay. Supernatural causes.
Right. And in Bavaria, get this, they even used salt sometimes to try and figure out if someone had been bewitched, like a diagnostic tool.
Wow. It shows just how deeply salt was woven into their understanding of health, misfortune, the whole picture.
It really does.
It's easy for us now, looking back, to see these beliefs as maybe a bit quaint or even funny.
Sure.
But what's really striking is that using salt for these, let's call them magical or protective reasons, it didn't just die out. It's, believe it or not, still a thing for many people today.
Really? So it's not just history.
No, not at all. Salt is still widely seen as a purifier, something that protects against negative energy in lots of contemporary practices. You find it in, say, Buddhism and Shintoism. They often use salt to cleanse spaces or ward off bad influences. It's pretty remarkable how these ancient ideas endure, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
And it seems to go beyond just organized religion, too. Like, in parts of Latin America, our source mentions this belief in creating a rattlesnake of salt.
A rattlesnake made of salt.
Yeah, like an effigy or shape. They believe it can actually extend people's lives and protect their homes or businesses.
Fascinating.
And there's also that tradition, which you hear about in various places, of drawing a line of salt across your doorway.
Right, across the threshold.
Yeah, like creating an invisible barrier to keep out evil spirits or just, negative vibes or unwanted guests. It's a living practice.
Which actually brings up something maybe more relatable for you listening. Have you ever noticed how sort of relieved and fresh you feel after a salt bath?
Oh, yeah, definitely. A good soak with Epsom salts or sea salt.
Exactly. Ritual baths using sea salt are a common tradition, especially noted in Africa, but really all over. And even if you're a total skeptic about energy and spirits, that feeling of rejuvenation after a salt bath, it's kind of hard to deny. It taps into something deep, that desire for cleansing, for renewal. Whether you call it energy clearing or just good self-care, the salt plays a role.
Okay, so if people listening are intrigued by all this, by these sort of threads of ancient wisdom, and they want to explore using salt for more than just, seasoning their dinner or having a nice bath, our source actually compiled some pretty accessible ideas, things people can try, described as easy and safe rituals for, well, purification and protection.
Great. Let's get into some of those practical tips. First up, the source lists this as number 9, the reviving shower.
Okay.
The idea is if you're feeling heavy, like you've picked up negative energy during the day,
Yeah, happens to us all.
you take a shower, but you incorporate salt, maybe scrub lightly with it, or just let salty water wash over you. It's believed to wash away that negativity, leaving you feeling, lighter, refreshed, renewed.
So you could do it in the morning to kind of set yourself up.
Yeah, the source says to conquer anything, or use it in the evening to wash away all the bad that stuck with you. Makes sense. Okay, number 8 is the good luck charm.
A charm.
Simple idea. Just carry a small handful of sea salt in your pocket or maybe a little pouch.
And what's that for?
It's meant to act as a protective amulet. The belief is it helps you out in important situations like a job interview or a big test, helps ensure the best possible result.
Interesting. Like a little pocket protector?
Sort of. And then number 7 is for money attraction.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Always a popular topic.
This one involves putting a small cloth bag with some rosemary and salt somewhere in your house.
Rosemary and salt.
Yeah, that combination is believed to specifically attract prosperity and abundance into the home.
Okay, interesting mix. What's next?
Number 6 is called support in a foreign environment.
Right, like when you're traveling. Hotel rooms can feel a bit weird sometimes.
Exactly. If you feel unsettled in a new place, maybe sense some leftover energy or just can't relax. The suggestion is to mix a bit of salt into a cup of water and just place it beside your bed while you sleep.
And that helps.
The belief is it provides protection and a sense of safety in that unfamiliar space. And actually, here's another tip. Similar idea that wasn't numbered but was in the source. If you've had a really draining day, and you're worried about bringing that negativity into your home,
Okay.
you can spread some salt on your bath sponge or even just on your bar of soap and give yourself a quick rub down before you go inside. kind of like an energy cleanse at the doorstep.
Huh. Like wiping your feet, but for energy.
Exactly. Then, number 4, protect your home from unwanted visitors. This is if you feel like someone came to your house and maybe they didn't have the best intentions or you just got a bad vibe.
And you don't want them back.
Right. The ritual is simple. Just pour a little line of salt across your front doorstep outside.
Creates a barrier.
That's the idea, a protective mechanism to deter them or their negative influence from coming back. And finally, number 3, cast out negative objects.
Negative objects.
Oh.
Cursed items.
Well, maybe not that dramatic, but if you have an object, maybe something old, inherited, or just something that feels off, feels like it carries bad vibes.
Yeah, I know that feeling sometimes.
The suggestion is to gently wash the object with warm water and salt. The belief here is that the salt water will transmute the evil energy into positive vibes. Basically, neutralize the negativity.
Okay, so cleansing the object itself.
Precisely.
Bad.
Neutralizing any bad juju, so to speak.
Right. These are all fairly simple things people could try.
They are, but now we get to what the source calls the 2 most powerful rituals on its list. Things step up a notch here.
Ooh, okay. Building the suspense. So number 2. This one sounds intense. The witch bottle.
Mm-hmm.
The source says this is a really ancient practice, believed to have serious power to protect its owner and actually, deflect evil.
It's a fascinating piece of historical magic, really, and the source gives instructions on how to make one.
Okay, let's hear it. What do you need?
All right, first, a glass bottle or any bottle with a good, tight lid. Then you fill it about halfway with sharp objects.
Sharp objects. Like what?
Rusty nails, pins, razor blades, broken glass. Things that symbolically catch or trap harm.
Wow, okay. Intense.
Yeah. Then you add sea salt, obviously, for purification. And a red ribbon red is often used for protection in folklore.
Okay.
Then a little bit of wine, maybe symbolizing life force or perhaps as part of the trapping mechanism. And finally, you seal the bottle cap with wax, traditionally from a black candle.
Black for protection or banishing.
Probably. But the source says if you don't have black, a white candle works as a universal substitute. Once it's all sealed up, that's your witch bottle. It's meant to act like an invisible shield, deflecting negativity sent your way. Some people apparently even used to bury them near their homes.
That is definitely a step up from sprinkling salt.
Okay.
Okay, so that leaves number 1, the grand finale, the big one from the title. What will happen if you pour salt in the corners of your house? Our source makes a point of saying this is the one time it's definitely okay to spill salt because it's meant to genuinely change your life for the better.
Right. This is presented as the ultimate home purification technique from the source material. And the instructions are pretty straightforward.
Okay, lay it on us. How do you do it?
You start with some fine salt. Doesn't have to be coarse in a bowl or container. Then you go into your main living space, your living room probably, and stand right in the middle.
Middle of the room. Got it.
From there, you take handfuls of the salt and you sort of spray it or flick it towards the corners of the room.
Okay.
The key is to move clockwise around the room. Make sure you get salt into every corner. Then you just repeat that process, go into every single room of your house, stand in the middle, move clockwise, and spray salt into all the corners.
Every room. Bedrooms, kitchen, bathroom.
Every room, according to the source. Clockwise, salt in the corners.
Okay. So what's the payoff? Why do this? What are the supposed benefits?
Well, the source claims the benefits are, and I quote, fantastic. It says this simple ritual does several things for you and your family. It drives away negative energy that might have built up. It purifies and protects the entire home. It helps keep unwanted visitors or influences out. And importantly, it attracts peace and prosperity into the space.
Wow. So cleansing, protection, and attraction, all from just sprinkling salt in the corners.
That's the claim. A very simple action believed to have profound effects on the home's atmosphere and the well-being of the people in it.
So there you have it. What a fascinating journey, really. We started with salt as just, that white stuff in the shaker. And we've seen it as this incredibly valuable commodity, something soldiers were paid with.
Yeah.
To being this powerful element in ancient rituals and even modern spiritual practices. It really shows how something so common can hold such an astonishingly rich history. Value, superstition, ritual, it's all packed in there.
It really is.
So hopefully you listening now have a perspective on salt that goes quite a bit beyond just spicier food or a relaxing bath.
And digging into salt like this, it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? It raises this bigger question. What other completely everyday items might be sitting around us, holding hidden histories or symbolic meanings or even, magical significance that we've just totally overlooked in our busy modern lives?
That's a really good point. What else are we missing?
Exactly. Because what we saw with salt is this enduring human desire, right? For protection, for purification, for prosperity. And it shows how people have always found ways to connect with those desires using the simple elements around them. And maybe, just maybe, those ancient beliefs and practices still resonate for a reason, even today. Perhaps the real magic lies in our intention and in reconnecting with those simple, ancient threads of wisdom. Something to think about.